Yeah, so on. And it looks like we're getting into the game. So, as you were saying, Nathan came in on the 64th seed. His opponent is the Goliath of this matchup, Din, who I believe he went 8 wins, 1-1 game. So he went, what would it be the number? Like 7, I think he went 17-3 or something.
No, it would have been 17-1, yeah.
Yes, so
18 games.
He did very well yesterday. He was seeded number 1. He didn't lose any of his games.
Sporting some koala ears today.
And so yeah, he's paired up against our 64 seed Nathan. I've got to actually, like, I've heard a lot of fun stories on the grapevine. So Nathan actually was a bit of a fanboy for Din. So yeah, so outside, when during one of the rounds, Din was just like grabbing a coffee or something, and Nathan like kind of was like real nervous, like, oh, like, I want to take a photo with him, and then he was like really nervous, and he's like, can I take a photo? And then Din was like, oh yeah, sure. So so we have a real David versus Goliath. Nathan, very very respectable player over here in Melbourne as well, very into the game, but he's playing against one of the players he admires, so we'll see how it goes. They say never meet your heroes, so we'll see how it goes.
Well, Din's only tie yesterday would have been when he was on stream, so that's kind of the caster's curse, perhaps.
No ties today, only completions.
That's right, yeah, best of 3. What do you think about the koala mask that Din is sporting above his head there?
Very cute, very cute. Does keep the drop bears away.
Yep, blending in with his environment. Yep. I love it. All right, and so
we have a Ruby Sapphire mirror match. So we will be here for quite a while, it looks like. Best luck to both players. And Din obviously is higher seed, so he'll be choosing to
go first, I would suspect, yeah. I'd be very surprised if any of the top seeds today chose to go second. It's usually advantageous to be going first because you can kind of dictate the pace of the game.
Looks like Din kept 2, and I think Mulligan 5.
It looks that way.
4, yeah. So this is a Ruby Sapphire mirror match. So this is a matchup where both players are going to ramp towards the end game. Obviously, they don't have very much a early game presence, so they're not going to be playing daisies and magic brooms and Chernobyls. So we're going to see, not too much action in the early game, but both players just going to be aggressively ramping up towards the end game.
Yep. So I think...
How are we going to see these games being determined, in your opinion?
In my eyes, I think there's a few key cards in this matchup. One of them is looking for your Hiram in the early game. You really want to ramp and then get some card draw to refill your hand. I can see in Nathan's hand there's a Porpsicle, there's a How Far I'll Go, and there's a couple of ramp options, including the Fishbone Quill. So
true. Oh, that's right. So definitely in our testing, the high ramp rewards were really, really important. So you always had to try to keep as many Sisus and Brawls to deal with the high rams as soon as you have to play.
Yep.
If you let a high ram stick around and he eats more than one Popsicle, you really start losing resource, or your opponents start gaining resources significantly quickly to whoever who can keep him around. Oh, did he sleeve off him some fresh sleeves? His deck almost toppled over. Oh.
Quite possibly, yeah. I think a lot of people may have re-sleeved overnight.
Re-sleeved overnight. Okay. Or maybe he's a little bit nervous. He's like, oh, man.
That's all right. I'm sure Nathan will get into the swing of things here.
This definitely. So Hiram, and then having the removal for Hiram. And I guess you just use a whole bunch of ramps. So you just try to sail to the right seas, right? Yep. And then I guess you're just trying to make your hand as quality with how far I go. You don't need to go too far with. You don't need to go too fast with T-pose.
Yep.
T-pose obviously is a lot worse for your card economics than sail to Azurite Sea.
Yeah.
And you don't need the speed. You don't need the body. You can sail all the way to the end.
Well, one thing that you can try and do in this matchup, which is not always going to work out, but if you can deploy a lot of smaller threats, so like your T-pose, your Grandma Talas, and get 2 or 3 of them on the board and be questing for 3 every turn, and you haven't really...
Very strong hand for Din.
Yes.
He just sailed Azurite Seas, inked a Pirate's Life, which not very relevant in this matchup at all. You don't really care about taking 2 lore away from your opponent, and then using the extra lore, using the extra ink, played his Popsicle. So that's a very good turn 2 by Din, set himself up for a very good turn 4, and sailed Azurite Seas in return for Nathan. And he's probably just going to do a very similar thing.
Ink,
he puts his pirate.
Yo-ho is just going in the inkwell. That's kind of sad.
And he did not have a 1-2 return, so here we go.
And there is the mana, Din's signature card from yesterday.
He inked a Brawl? He inked a Brawl? Okay, so...
I think Din's deck is a little bit different to your traditional Ruby Sapphire.
But if Nathan plays a Hiram, like Brawl is what you need to deal with it, right?
That's true.
Yeah. So definitely, I think these McDuck manners are going to be one of the big factors that really determines which way this game swings, because all the removal that Nathan has in deck, whether it's the Sisus or the Maleficents, Maleficents or Sisus or Be Prepared, none of them hit McDuck manners.
Yeah,
So,
there's often one copy of Hideaway, but if your opponents run out 3 or 4 manners, then yeah, just one copy is...
so it's very interesting that Din just straight up put his McDuck manor out so early. Maybe he just knows, hey, I know you have no way of dealing with this. I'm just going to put this McDuck manor out early, and your grandma, she can take 3 whole turns to just chip away at this thing, but it's up to you. And so it's he must know how to play this matchup, and he just realized, cool, I can just put the manor out, and the Ruby Sapphire opponent just cannot challenge it very easily.
Yeah, I think Din has 2 quite diverse threats on the board here. So there's another Tala from Nathan. Because Hiram, obviously a huge threat. You want to get rid of that as soon as possible to stop Din generating too much value. But then the mana is just ticking away for 2 lore every turn. So, Nathan's taken the approach.
Takes the first swing.
3 challenges from Grandma will deal 9 to the mana, and there's 2 on the board. So Nathan is threatening to remove it.
Is he sending out a Maui this turn? So we do know that Din plays quite a full playset of Mauis.
Full playset of enchanted Mauis, indeed, yeah.
And he also plays some super gifts as well. So this feels like a situation where it might be a good Maui turn.
Yeah, I think so. I think Maui to challenge the Tala here is...
that way he can retain his mana for an extra turn.
Correct.
If you send out the Maui to challenge the Grandma, only one Grandma is able to challenge into your mana on the following turn, and it can stick around.
All right, let's see. Din deciding which card to put in the inkwell. There's the Maui, and we'll see the follow-up Maui.
All right, you're welcome. Bada bing, bada boom. All right. So, yeah, exactly played as we thought he would. And he's looking pretty good. And now probably passing over to Nathan.
Yep. So a lot of these Ruby Sapphire decks have been cutting down on the Mauis, particularly when Go-Go came out. A lot of people didn't want a reckless character on the board who could potentially take 4 damage counters and then see the Go-Go come out. So, yeah, a lot of people have cut down to 2, sometimes even 0 of the Maui Hero to all cards. So I'm not sure what Nathan's got in their list, but Maui would be a very nice answer to this mana right now. Let's see what Nathan can do.
I don't think he's got it, so therefore he's just trying to figure out what can he do right now.
Sinks how far I'll go.
Top 2. Does this change anything? All right. Come on, off the top.
I see Tamatoa and I see Grandma Tala, so probably not what Nathan was looking for there.
I think it's, 7 there?
I think he has an ink for turn, so he can ink and then still digging,
okay.
probably looking for that Maui. And yeah, this is just what the mana does. It just really starts the pressure very early in the matchup. So now, Nathan hasn't got a great answer. And there's the Brawl. Yeah, you've got to stop.
Yeah, so I was about to say, real talk, you don't necessarily have to deal with the Maui. So he can challenge into the Grandma next turn. But so he'd be trading into it. But you've already gotten some value out of the Grandmas anyways. So, and otherwise he can't quest for anything. So you're kind of safe still. You don't really have to deal with this Maui. So he ramped up a fair bit. I think he could have inked a little bit more because he did sell that, right?
Play the sale, yeah, but
I think he just might want
to run a little bit low on cards in hand.
Definitely brawling the Hiram is definitely the much more important play.
Yeah, I agree.
You just need him to stop drawing in the extra cards. But he is ticking away these manas every turn. So he didn't realize that these are pretty sick in the mirror match.
Yeah, these are really, if you can get them out on the 4-ink turn, it really puts so much pressure on your opponent.
This was such a crazy meta call where everyone just went completely one way of let's just focus and deal with anything that's small, anything that's to a strength or less. That's super pigeonhole the entire meta, and then didn't go in complete other way. It's like, what happens if I go super big willpower locations and no one's got an answer? And he's just playing Monopoly every game, charging people for rent, and everyone goes bankrupt.
I saw some nice things in the 5 cards that Din's looking at here. There was a Maui Shark and there was a few other options. Opts for another Visions. And runs out another mana.
I would have thought that like this is just like a second mana turn because Nathan just doesn't have enough board presence to be able to deal with these. He's already like struggling to close down the first mana. I think definitely the second one is going to continue on the pressure, and now it's just he's half the remaining clock that Nathan has. He's now gaining four a turn.
And are we going to see Din banish the Popsicle here to heal up the Maui to protect it?
I don't think so. I think Maui just challenges into Grammar.
And just
he's got plenty of additional Mauis to continue to deal with whatever else he plays, and this just makes sure that his existing mana just like sticks around for longer. Yeah. So yeah. And he can just keep his Popsicles because his deck doesn't run Tamatoa. He cannot recur the Popsicles, so he's only got a few amount of high rams he can trade those Popsicles, like a few amount of Popsicles that his high rams can trade in. So I think he's less inclined to banish them to heal up. And here we have, is that Scar?
Scar, all right. Vicious Cheetah comes down.
Okay, all right.
That is, that's a card we've seen yesterday as well, and it looked quite impressive,
So I think that this is a card that's a little bit played a little bit more to control some of the weenier sort of decks, because he is stated that he can survive a challenge with a smaller unit.
Yep, can often
and then
come out.
Can, ready and then challenge another one as well. And so, so he was able to close down the first mana, and he still got a very respectable board.
And just be prepared,
Getting prepared. That's... Yeah, so
I think be prepared on the Scar. That's
didn't have. It's interesting because be prepared seems like would be something that you would say for a bigger or scarier board, but I guess with Ruby Sapphire you're not putting multiple big threats out at the same turn. So maybe be prepared at that point might have been okay, and then he could have just held out a Maui in hand or held up another piece of removal in hand instead. I think.
So Nathan's starting to get a lot of ink in the inkwell. I think I see another how far I'll go. We've got a Grammatala, so...
I had a brief look at Din's list yesterday. I think he's running... I think he might have been running some Let-It-Goes?
Yeah, there was one that went into the inkwell earlier.
Yeah, so he does have an answer for like big single target characters, yes.
And there's another vicious
second Scar, he's coming in. All right, cool, all right.
Wow, so Nathan's really...
preparing, mentally prepared himself for this matchup.
I think this is a nice take because, these manas and the libraries we saw yesterday. There's been a few decks running locations, and even the Dwarf Mine.
And another be prepared.
Be prepared.
Nathan keeps sending in his health inspectors, and they keep getting ejected from the manors. So let's see. Does Nathan have another official coming in to inspect the manor?
Yeah, I wonder how many Nathan has in their list, because the 7-cost uninkables, you've got a lot of heavy uninkables in this list already, naturally, so... Nathan might have cut the be prepared, or...
Theoretically, you could probably main deck free, but I think it would be unwise. I think probably you're just taking in 2 for certain matchups.
Yeah, I think 2 is a sensible number. And not sure what card Nathan selected here. There was a Tamatoa in hand for Nathan, so he'll be likely to get that down at some point and just hope that Din doesn't have removal for it, but still digging for answers here for Nathan.
Got to do a little bit less digging.
And
start putting some more presence down. These mana's just ticking away.
Yeah. At least he managed to deal with the first one, and the second one is only got 3 willpower remaining, so that's quite nice for Nathan. And Vitalosphere to give something rush.
Very relevant. You can play something with a solid set of stats, and then you can give it rush, and then it can challenge straight into Wonder Mana. So it does give you the necessary speed to be able to push things forward.
That's right. So...
How far will I go? Okay.
Probably looking for another mana here. I wouldn't be surprised.
Because he hasn't had high ram for quite a while, he hasn't had like an endless source of resources.
Yep.
And even though he's not playing too much, he still needs to keep up with the amount of resources. So he's just doing a whole bunch of cycling, and I guess he's putting down the mana.
Shaking their heads, so maybe not finding what Din was after there. And Vision. Right. So this whole turn is just digging for...
He's probably wishing he had a half shark around now.
Yeah, I know.
A whole bunch of extra lore for that.
That would have been really nice. All right, so Nathan's got to be happy to see that. Din has essentially spent their whole term cycling, so...
Okay, he puts down a brawl. Maybe he just doesn't respect Nathan's high rams. He's like, all right, cool. Play your high ram.
Yeah, well, I think he's got the read that if Nathan had high ram, they would have played it last turn, so... there's the
Maleficent.
dragon.
All right, Maleficent. use the Vitality Sphere to give it a rush, and it is just going in. All right.
Very nice there from Nathan.
Closing up the second mana, and so Din has to deal with this.
Yeah, so Din's going to need to run out some additional threats
He's
here to
already
gain...
used 2 Be Prepared. I know he's running 4, I think. So he's got some Let It Goes probably, or another Be Prepared. He's got Pirate's Life?
There's another mana.
He's hiding the Pirate's Life as just like a random way to like push over the line.
Wow.
So, yeah.
And also, we can see 2 Super Grooves in hand here, so that's another potential 4 lore just played out of hand.
Oh, that's pretty daring. Just like, all right, cool. Opening up the mana, you know, come at me.
And so what have we got on Nathan's side? I can see the Lucky Dime. Looks like we got a Half Shark in here.
How much ink does Nathan have in total? Because theoretically, he could play, say, a Tamatoa.
And there's the
grab
Hideaway.
a Vital Sphere, and then, Oh, Hideaway, okay, yeah.
Hideaway, that is...
Obviously, he knows what he's up against, so he definitely, you know...
A card that you would not be putting into your inkwell.
Yeah, so like I was saying earlier today, you know the matchup, so you know what specific cards you need to hold on to. And
here we go. Nathan is starting to set up a clock here.
I was about to say, even though, like, Nathan's behind on lore, he's actually, you know, challenging his way in. He's actually getting there, and I think Din might be running out of threats. So that's 3 manas that have been closed down at this stage, and there's no recursion for the manas. Is Din just going to have to win his games the normal way?
Yeah, maybe. We might have to see some characters come out and quest.
Yeah, but he's got no Tamatoas, so like, what's he questing with? So you'd have to be pushing through with like Half Sharks and songs and stuff, but yeah, so he's digging for answers, and
there's a Half Shark. That's probably what Din was looking for.
He needs to
dig
for threats at this point.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Like, I think we might see that Maui come down here because, Din does have an additional Pirate's Life in hand.
Doing a bit of count.
Yeah, Din does... Oh, there's the Super Groove for another +2.
To gain some lore!
Just dealing 2, slowly dealing with the dragon.
That is true, eh? So
2 damage. And Din does have a lot of lore cards that will gain lore when played.
It's hilarious.
The Super Groove.
Out of nowhere.
Another Super Groove. We've got the Pirates in hand. There's the Hiram, so that's very nice for Nathan. Banishing the Popsicle, looking for probably a Tamatoa, I would think. Nathan would be looking to run that out and try and accelerate the clock.
Is this why I didn't... He inked his brawls? Because he probably just has some Super Goofs in hand. It's like, all right, cool. You know, if you quest with your Hiram, I'm just going to send double Goofs into it.
That's
and
right,
gain 4 off the top, right?
And then the Goof survives, and then you have to deal with that again.
He doesn't has enough ink to do it.
And we got quest for 2.
There's no reason not to. Like, if he wants to run Super Goofs in, he can run into whoever he wants. Oh, Lucky Dime! Yeah. All right, cool, yeah.
So Nathan's up to 6 here, and gaining and the Shark as well.
He's got some... he doesn't look like he has enough ink.
Oops. That's all right. Din says no worries.
He plays the Half Shark and he plays Pirate Song. He gains 3.
So that's +3.
Puts him up to 17, looks like.
17, I think.
Oh, that might have been...
They scoop.
All right, cool. We might have missed the lore at some point, but looks like Din was able to make it over the line, and so it's very interesting. He kept the Pirates life at the end just so he can push himself over the edge a little bit. Yeah,
I think that's another. The Super Groove is not a card that we've been seeing a lot this set, but Din's plan is just get close, get to 10, 12 lore with these manas, and then run out the Super Grooves, run out the Pirates' lives, try and get some lore through your Maui Half Shark, and it just. Yeah, it's a lot to deal with.
I think about this, and as someone, if I was in Nathan's shoes and as a competitor, if I was in his shoes, I would be thinking, look, the amount that he's really tested this deck and really played through its lines is very experienced. Because I think about it, look, he knows in this matchup, you can play the Duck Mana super early, and other Ruby Sapphire decks are going to have a difficulty in trying to close him down, right?
Yep.
But also, in the back of his mind, he knew that those weren't going to survive. So towards the later part of the game, he was holding on to those Pirate Songs and the Super Goofs and used them as a way to push over the line. So he's definitely played this matchup to a point where he knows that he can use them as a way to close out. So he already had a very clear path down the game plan and down the road, and he knew what he was doing from turn 1 to turn end.
Yeah, absolutely.
He's super practiced, and that's the level of experience and practice and preparation that I see in Din. And just looking at his gameplay, he just really knows what he's doing. Nathan obviously is trying to feel out the road or the game plan as it's going along. So he's done a fantastic job in navigating that.
Yeah, he nearly came back in that game. He had re-established board control, but then just had gotten away with too much lore with the double mana, and it was just a lot to deal with.
He figured out the setup, he figured out how to play the mid game, he figured out what the threats were, and he was able to equalize things. But, you know, and then there was the surprise second threat. It's just like, oh man, okay, you know, I got through stage 1 of the boss, stage 2 of the boss, and then, his final form, Goof, Maui, gain the extra lore, all right, and then, man, didn't make it, so now he has to start back at the stage 1 of the boss again, and has to start playing it all through the phases again.
Back to level 1.
Back to the start,
So, I think it's just amazing to me that both of these Ruby Sapphire players, we haven't seen a single Sisu in either deck. I guess it was a meta call. They want more answers to
Nathan's not playing Sisu,
some of these sort of 3 strength characters. So, yeah, one of the things that Ruby Sapphire can struggle with is steal. There's a lot of 3 strength characters with your Calhouns, your Smees. You got things like Lawrence as well. So these are all very hard to deal with. So looks like Nathan's made the call as well. His list is a bit more of your traditional Ruby Sapphire list, but is made the call that Scar Vicious Cheater and Be Prepared is just the answer and doesn't seem to want to run the Sisu package.
Yeah, also just as a quick side note, so we were a little bit confused of why Din was wearing a glove on one hand yesterday. He told me afterwards on the stream, while he was out at the beach, he cut himself a little bit. And so obviously for safety reasons, he wanted to make sure his hand was covered up for, for safety reasons.
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense. Yep.
Reasons. So it's not some sort of weird high player tech reason why he's doing it. Obviously.
So you don't have to wear them at home if you don't want to?
No.
I'd love to ask Din about the koala mask, though. I want to get one now, so maybe we can borrow it for the stream a bit later.
Maybe, but I might be getting some shaking heads behind the camera. Okay, we'll see. All right, so we've got some
here we go.
happening. And,
so Nathan will be on the play this game, so he will be able to sort of dictate the pace of the game a little bit more. And I think now Nathan would have had an idea of what's in Din's deck and probably had some plans to counter it, but now that he's got a game of experience under his belt, he'll probably develop his plans, and I think Grandma Tala is going to play a big role. I think Grandma Tala over Hiram on turn 4, just to try and get that body on the board, because you know the mana is going to come down sooner or later. And Grandma Tala plus Scar Vicious Cheater is quite a nice, clean answer to the 9 willpower of these manas, so yeah, Nathan will probably be trying to establish a board early on rather than going for the value route.
Yes, exactly. So I actually think that there's a couple of routes here, right? So there is one route where he plays a whole bunch of grammars out, and he just tries to send in the grammars to deal with the manas. The other alternative is he tries to ramp up towards 7 as soon as possible, and that way he can have a grammar and a Scar both go in at the same time. So I think it could go either way. I think having one grammar out is probably correct, and then he wants to ramp but not sing with the grammar to get up to 7, and that way grammar and Scar can come in at the same time and close a mana together on one turn.
Yep.
Obviously that's going to receive some return fire from Din in regards to a Maui, but I think he can continue to push on from there.
Yep.
So I think the key is get grammar out, do a little bit more additional ramp, and then get Scar in. But it's definitely a very different change of pace to what Nathan might be usually used to, now being the aggressor in a matchup. Cool. So we see a Pirate's Life being inked early on, and develop your mind. So just look at the top 2, put one in hand. Okay, and Nathan with the Vitality Sphere on turn 1. So that's definitely going to be very useful in this matchup. So if he does need to push a little bit of extra damage, I think Half Shark is base strength of 7. So if you Vitality Sphere, it goes up to 9, which is exactly what you need to be able to single-handedly push over a McDuck mana. So very important item in this matchup. Potentially he might use them might use Tamatoa. Actually, does he run Tamatoa?
Nathan is running Tamatoa, yeah. So we saw a few go into the Inkwell last game.
He can recur the Vitality Spheres.
Yeah, which could be a really nice play if it gets to that. And there's Din with the Popsicle, so no ramp here for Din. That's unfortunate.
Was it intentional or unintentional? That's like...
I
don't know, right? Like, so... Oh, man.
I think
someone roll back the tape and see how many cards he mulliganed.
Yeah.
Okay. So he... All right, yeah. It just seems like he didn't hit. So he's really thinking about this one.
Yeah, so Nathan's got to be happy about this. Din not ramping on turn 2 is exactly what he wants to see because it delays the manas coming down, it delays the Mauis coming down, and it just lets Nathan try and develop their threats a bit more quickly before Din can develop answers to them.
Look at Nathan with that smile.
I know.
I'm feeling good here. It's like, you know.
And there's the Maui into the Inkwell, and yeah, let's see what Nathan's got in hand. There's
So
a Grandma Tala, there's a How Far I'll Go. So this is always an interesting one. I think you want to be, because Nathan's ahead, given that Din missed the
inking the
ramp.
Grandma. Okay.
Oh, we got another Grandma coming.
All
up.
right. Okay. So
Yeah, I think
it's an interesting play. Yeah.
You can consider just playing the How Far I'll Go if you want to rush out something like your Maui Half Shark. But yeah, I think taking the slightly slower route, just playing the Grandma and then singing with her next turn is exactly what Nathan wants to do here. And that was the game plan last turn, but Din just established so much pressure on the board that Nathan wasn't able to sing on the turn that the following turn that it came out.
Yeah, definitely. Oh, we didn't see that. Was that another Maui?
That was another Maui,
Yeah.
another shiny Maui.
Pass? Oh.
Yeah, ink and pass.
Oh.
So Din has had a bit of a slow start to this one. Here we go, seeing how far I'll go. And yeah, Nathan is looking very nice this game, yeah.
Moving ahead, and yeah, he gets to build another ink, and yeah, so he's currently sitting at 4. He can go up to 5. Does he have anything that he can take advantage with this 5?
I'm not seeing anything in hand. I can see the Hideaway in hand. I can see the Brawl in hand. And yeah, just thinking Dragon. I think that makes a lot of sense. It's not the matchup that he's keeping. Yeah.
See, like this is why I think probably would have been best to have kept that previous Grandma on the previous turn.
Yeah, to have something to play with the follow-up. Yeah. Yeah, I think Nathan's valuing the Half Shark more, probably for the, as you were saying, the rush potential with the Vitalosphere out.
A Brawl, on the high ram.
And
it's usually it's a very relevant target, but I'm not sure how many items Din has to cycle through. But you know, it's probably a safe bet to just Brawl out the high ram.
Yeah, I think Hiram on its own is just so scary with the value it can generate. And another How Far I'll Go for Nathan here. So this is looking fantastic for Nathan at the moment. Yeah,
right,
he's going very far indeed.
He's got a lot of ink right now. Yeah, so he's definitely over 7. So
yeah, I think I'm seeing.
So he can send in scars anytime he need to for manners, and also he's probably a little bit short to play Maleficent and then Vitalosphere on the same turn, but he's pretty close to that. But otherwise, the first McDuck Manor that Din's playing is probably going to get challenged straight away.
Yep.
Does he just hold off and just play 2 at a time? He still has equalized board, so I think they're both in a feeling each other out situation where if Nathan hard commits and plays a lot of characters, then Dim just be prepared to board. And otherwise, if Nathan is like just playing very closely and slow, I think Din potentially just has the ability to just play McDuck Manor next turn.
Yeah, we might see that come out. It's tricky here for Nathan.
Because what does Nathan do here?
Yeah, Nathan can play the Maui Half Shark, which does have evasive, so at least he can safely quest or sing with it, and it doesn't get answered by the Maui hero at all. So I think we might see that come out. But yeah, just starting with Develop Your Brain, probably looking for something like Hiram or...
that's another Half Shark I think I see.
No, that's a hero at all.
A hero at all?
And sends Hiram to the bottom. That's interesting. So he's highly valuing the Vitalosphere here, which I think is smart. He knows that Din's running a lot of McDuck Manors. That's part of his win condition. So
it's like he's got 6 ink open.
Yep. And yep, Half Shark. That makes a lot of sense.
And Din might be holding a Let It Go here. Popsicle. Cycle a card.
Yeah, so we've got 2 Mauis staring each other down on the
Half
board.
Shark is one of the cards you definitely need to prioritize dealing with.
And yeah, just judging by Din's body language here, not quite finding what they wanted. Got another Maui, which, yeah, we got... Yeah, ink in the Brawl here. Not getting a lot of value out of that at the moment. And just seeing what he can find with the Grandma Tala.
You see his, like, how's the look at it? It's like, nah.
Oh, yep.
And you just did a little bit of drawing, a little bit of searching, and yeah. Right. Nathan's probably in a pretty decent spot right now, so he's got the board built up a little bit. Now he needs to try to just pressure. So at this point, at the very least, every time he casts like a Sail to Azurite Sea, he's getting a certain amount of lore. Board is a little bit stalemated. Both players do have like pressure on the board, so you can't really just openly quest. Although actually,
The half shark
because it
quest
has a,
with
it
the
has
evasive tag.
evasive.
Yep.
It is protected.
So Nathan's in a tricky spot here. So probably wants to run out that Tamatoa at some point, but also doesn't want to overcommit into the be prepared.
Too many. Yeah. So I don't know about this one. This now feels like it's now worth be preparing.
Yeah. So we've got one lore off the half shark here, and yeah, I think if Din has got be prepared here, it will be coming down almost certainly. But if not, then yeah, Nathan might have the read that he doesn't think Din's got it in hand. Oh, I think Din may have just hit it off the top here. So
Din with his poker face.
Oh, Din is really not afraid, or perhaps doesn't have the ink.
He definitely does have be prepared in hand. I think I saw one.
Oh,
before.
yep, just got the let it go, I think. So we might see Maui sing let it go, or just a hard cast.
Oh, so you sing it. So you.
If you sing it, you do exert the Maui, and then you open yourself up to the challenge.
No, you just play it normally.
Yep.
Put it onto the Tamatoa.
Yep.
And then Maui can just challenge. Oh no,
Maui can't challenge the other Maui. Yeah. With the evasive tag, so Din still trying to filter their hand here. Doesn't look overly happy with what they found. So
I'm honestly not sure what's
and just
what's his lines of play. He's got some amount of answers, but
is there a popsicle in the banish zone here for Nathan? If not, then there's probably nothing for the Tamatoa to fetch. So Din's just saying quest for two is not that threatening at this stage.
Could this be some 600 IQ play by Din where he's just pretending his hand's bad and then gets Nathan to give him more to board? He's like, oh, what do you know? I just drew into a be prepared. Oh, lucky me.
We might be seeing something like that.
Could it be? No.
Yep, so Nathan really would like to see a popsicle here. Popsicle, and then you can banish it.
Both players are very just like kind of poking each other right now, not really getting too far ahead. They built up a ton of ink, and does Nathan just passes?
Yeah.
Not doing anything?
He doesn't want to commit the Tamatoa because with the quest, the Maui and the Grammatala can challenge the Tamatoa. And there's the Hiram for Din, so he'll be very happy to be seeing that one. And now, yeah, Nathan's the one who's facing down a slightly scarier board. Yeah, Nathan is just praying that he can find a popsicle here because that would generate a lot more card draw. And only 3 cards in hand, starting to run a little bit out of juice.
Yeah, not having a popsicle and not being able to recur that with Tamatoa is just kind of slowing him down.
Yeah, very, very unfortunate here. There's the let it go on the shark.
Yep.
Yeah, so that is
make sense.
Yeah,
that's what,
dealing with the evasive threat.
Yeah, like Din has no natural way to being able to deal with evasive, and it is slowly gaining him a certain amount of lore. And if Din ever uses the grandmas, like the half shark could have like gained some actions to actually move the game ahead. So definitely it was the right call to get rid of the half shark.
The evasive, and that opens the grandmas up to now be able to quest a bit more safely as well.
So I think that was So another develop your mind. Yep.
And I think we may see Scarvicious Cheetah come down here. I did spot it in hand for Nathan. That will answer one of the Grandma Talas and then either the other Tala or the Maui.
Okay, another half shark. Okay.
Yep, so
if it was good enough for Din to let it go with, then it's definitely good enough for you to play again.
And here we go. This is the play we were talking about earlier. So challenge the mana with the Vitalosphere half shark for exactly 9.
Unfortunately, Maui does not get to pick up any actions from challenging locations.
No, that's correct.
There's a lot of cards that will I think most cards specifically say challenge a character as opposed to whenever this card challenges.
Yes.
So locations are immune to those effects fundamentally.
But yeah, Nathan will be happy because can quest with the Tamatoa and fetch the Vitalosphere now. But
he's still going to hold back because the Tamatoa is still vulnerable to Maui if he needs to do it. But I could see it being relevant. I feel it might still be worth it because Din would still need to send at least another grandma after Maui in to challenge Tamatoa if they do decide to challenge it, and that just gives Half Shark another target to be able to challenge it to.
So we're seeing Maui exerted here. I think Din's probably considering the B prep this turn because the Hiram's already kind of quested twice and banished 2 Popsicles. I think there's only 1 Popsicle left in Din's deck, and he has no way to revive them. So
yeah, I think Nathan should have. Nathan could learn a thing or two about Din and his inking of brawls. Yes, inking of brawls. Just don't need to respect Din's brawls because he's only got so many Popsicles. He's got no way to recur them. Yeah. So he's doing a little bit of doing a little bit of math here.
Yeah, Din definitely doesn't want to commit a mana to this board, and just playing visions. So yeah, Din playing very patiently here. Doesn't look thrilled with what they found. I think that was another mana to hand, but yeah, not really finding what they're after. Unless again, this may be some
another
poker
Maui,
face.
and looks like he's just questing for 2. All right, he's
and
the ball rolling. All right,
time
to be prepared.
And there's the board wipe coming out.
Well,
and
not gonna lie, that's a little win for Nathan. You know, he forced Din to be prepared first. Both players had their be prepared ready to go, and like you know, he was able to force Din to use his. So that was you know, a little win, and now he's got the tempo advantage. He can start laying down the groundwork for the next wave. Tamator, all right, let's pick up the stuff, boys. Okay,
that's very nice for Nathan there. I think there may be another Let It Go in hand for Din, so we might see something like Let It Go and a mana or something like that. Yeah, Din having to think a bit here, not sure exactly what to play.
Wish we could see his hand. He's got to pull pretty far back. All right, cool. So it's now Din's turn to start playing some half sharks.
Then gains 1 law from the Develop Your Brain. And yeah, Din's still continuing to dig for... Not sure what exactly. Haven't piloted his deck before, so he's obviously knows what he's doing and knows what cards that he needs to dig for. And there's
the Tipo in goes 5.
And there's the mana.
Okay.
Yep.
Easy. So Tamator, you gave him the choice. Hey, you're either questing or you're either challenging. You're not doing both. So my McDuck mana is going to be safe if you just want to gain some extra resources. But he knows he's got Vitalosphere, so Nathan can just play a character and then Vitalosphere it into the McDuck mana. It, however, will create a target for Maui Half Shark to challenge into. So cool. Maleficent onto the Half Shark, so that's perfect answer. And I think he's just 1 short of the Vitalosphere.
Yeah,
he can ink 1 from hand and then use the Vitalosphere and send Maleficent in. I actually kind of feel like I like that. Because then Tamator can then pick up the Vitalosphere.
Yeah, with the quest.
With the quest.
And then can do the same thing.
And we're looking good. Oh, all right. So Din already knows what's going on. All right, cool. He's
he knows what's up,
he files bankruptcy before he declares the challenge.
No manners open today. And yeah, Nathan's certainly got a scary board here, so there's the Be Prepared from Din.
Bombs the board again, Be Prepared, all right.
And another mana.
Another one, all right, cool.
Yeah, it's not looking bad here for Din. I think this is a very close game.
This is a great war of attrition.
Yeah.
Nathan pass? Oh no! Look at this card. Look at the banner zone. Okay.
And Nathan is just like, where are my Popsicles today? He sees a lot of them in Din's discard. He's like,
definitely counting removal. He's definitely counting removal. All right, cool. There's 2 Be Prepared in there. How many more can I potentially expect? Is it now safe for me to go white? Right.
There's the hideaway.
Hideaway. All right, cool. So now he can play a little bit slower.
Mana,
so the whole point of that is that he can play something a little bit slower, hide that one for now, and then he can just take a little bit of time to build up the board. And a Tipo?
Tipo.
Okay, so
Tipo played as a 1/2.
What's up with that? So
I think Din doesn't need to go to any more ink. I think their deck is pretty much capped
challenge,
out. And just quest for 2 with the Scar. That is another one of the nice things about using the Scar as a removal option. At least it deploys a body to the board that can then quest. And there we're seeing the 1/2 Tipo on the other side. We got Tipo v Tipo.
Do an account. Double mana? No, that's a way more than double mana. Okay. Mana goof. All right. Okay, he's sitting it all in. All right. So
wow. Gains 4
off the super goofs.
And have that. Now it makes a lot of sense why the Tipo got played on the previous turn.
That was a lot committed in. So he went 3 for 1 into the Scar, and he's still a little bit far away. So
and then with the Vitalosphere, is able to get Scar up to 8 strength plus the Tipo for 1. So that was 9.
Shark. I think Nathan's turning this around. I think Nathan can close this out.
Nathan is looking quite solid
he's
here.
Ahead. All right. Oh, wait, was that a thumbs up? Someone screenshot that.
Clip that, chat.
Yeah.
So
Nathan's feeling himself. Look at him. He's enjoying this game.
There's Pirates just for 2.
And pushes Din back 2. He saw last game, all right, Din out of nowhere was able to just close that game. So this time he's giving himself a little bit more room for insurance. And so it's like, when to challenge? I think he holds back.
Yeah, I think not questing it. You can't let that Maui retrieve
Din
more
is
value
going to slowly push up one lore at a time with this half shark.
Doing it the old-fashioned way by questing.
All right,
and so Din has also gone through a lot of
both players are really okay. What's happening here? What's happening? So quest for free, and he just says, "Come at me!" All right. So he takes a bite. I'm not sure about this one.
Yeah,
so he picks up visions for sure, right?
Visions almost certainly. Yeah.
So all right.
Plays the visions, gains a lore.
This is very interesting.
Yeah, we got another half shark here. We got how far I'll go. There's some good stuff for Din here. Although he's keeping his poker face on, pretending, ooh. I'm very curious what they keep here.
Ooh. You do know when I'm saying he's putting on his poker face, it's like I'm being sarcastic.
I am not sure,
he's
though.
He's a very animated player. Din.
Oh, okay.
Whenever he's got good or bad draws, if you look at the camera, he's like very like, So he's very animated character. So
I think Din's just going to be happy to keep cycling action after action here.
Nathan's just like a very positive player. He does play at a couple of locals that I attend, and he's like always very vibrant, very energetic, very helpful from every time I've interacted with him. So he's a great guy. And yeah, we have
another how far I'll go. So
he's just getting so
much lore off this Maui half shot.
This one Tipo gaining one,
and there's another sail. Oh wow!
This is game plan C.
Yeah, that's right.
Half shark and then just push through a whole bunch. Oh man!
Oh, Nathan finally finds the popsicle. Can he get the higher to go with it? We got the how far I'll go in hand, I think. Yeah, geez, that one visions that Din was able to get from the discard just really accelerated the game.
Top 2, he sung it.
And we got
Does he have the... Yeah,
he
was singing for the middle.
Nice answer there from Nathan. But Din will be quite happy about the way things are going. They were able to generate so much lore off that half shark, and then it still required an answer.
Yeah, definitely. So now I understand why there's just like so many of these like cantrips that would just like keep pushing through.
Yeah, that's another one of these just lore gains. Especially when you get to this ink total, you can play a shark, and then you can run out 1, 2, maybe even 3 actions, and just generate 3 lore while cycling through cards. So Nathan looks like digging here with the visions.
Both players are literally just playing with fumes. They're just top decking and seeing what sticks.
Yeah, but Nathan just has not been able to find a wheel here, not been able to find the Hiram, and just not had the popsicle when the Tamatol was out.
That's true. Nathan, if he can get a Hiram with popsicle, he can actually just like blow up in resources.
Yeah, the hand size will just explode, but I think we've seen
because
none of them.
Din, even though he has a lot of cards that will draw him cards, none of them increase the total amount of cards.
That's
Ultimately, at the end of the day, he will only really be just like
replacing a card with itself. That's right. Apart from the Hirams, which I think there's only one more popsicle in Din's deck, so it's fairly unlikely that they find popsicle and Hiram given the deck size. So Nathan.
Developing one or
another vision. Okay. So visions into visions here, just really looking for that Hiram.
He's got to get at this point, right?
Oh, don't tell me. Well, Nathan looks happy, so perhaps that was the card that they wanted. But
he's ordering them.
Come on, Hiram, where are you?
All right, that looks like 4.
8 ink. Is this the Tamatol, perhaps?
Maleficent. Okay.
Maleficent. So Nathan's hand is now empty, but the deck is quite thin, so there's got to be some Hirams in there.
See, like I sometimes feel like maybe Grandma wasn't the best target, but definitely like because you want to prevent the harsh sharks, and this harsh shark is now going to work now.
Yeah, Din's just got so much pressure. Like Din's got a handful of cards.
After not waiting for the paint to dry, I'm going to work. I am putting some law down.
And was that a Brawl ran out with no targets?
Yeah.
I've never seen that before. So it just plays it with no targets just to gain the law. And Nathan scoops. Wow, that was... Nathan was looking fantastic, but just was unable to find Hiram, so couldn't just keep his hand full.
Feels like definitely well done to Nathan. He was playing against an opponent that had a significantly more amount of experience than him, but he did very, very well. We could see him navigate that first game very, very well. He did an excellent job there. And on that second game as well,
sometimes that happens. Hiram is just in the bottom half of your deck, and you just cannot find it when you need it. So, yeah, I think we've all been there.
Played him basically to a stalemate. They both just like were left on fumes. And look, it could have gone either way. They were both like very close on the amount of lore for sort of the mid game, and their boards are very similar. Cards and hand were very similar. Very scrappy game, and they were just sending cards backwards and forwards. And you know, it seems like just the cards is tilted one particular way.
Yep.
And yeah, I think maybe and that's Din's been able to close it out. So
yeah, it was just that one.